If you're planning a trip to New York City in the summer and you're wondering what to do, then this video is for you. So keep on watching. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If that is the case, then my name is Flor. I'm a content creator based here in New York, and I create videos around life in the city. Summer has just started here in New York City, and if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering what is there to do during the season in the city. So in this video, I am going to share 7 ideas of 7 things that I've done in New York City during summer and that I liked and I enjoyed and that I recommend you do as well. So let's get started. First of all, movies in the park. Picture this, you grab a blanket, you grab something to eat, you plan to meet up with a friend or your special someone for a picnic in the park, and around the time that the sun sets, you're there under the stars with the whole city as your backdrop. This is something that I've done a few years ago. I watched When Harry Met Sally at Bryant Park in Manhattan, and I had such a wonderful time that it's an activity that I recommend to everyone that comes in summer to New York City, because I feel like it's so unique, so special, and something that is probably going to become a core memory for you. If you're in Manhattan, there are plenty of parks that have movies that they show during summer, usually during July and August. If you're in Brooklyn, you can head off to Brooklyn Bridge Park. In Queens, in Long Island City, you can go to Hunter Point South Park. This one is also one of my favorites because you have the movie, and then right behind you can see all the city skyline, so it looks really magical. I will leave all the links to all the parks that have movies that are showing this summer down below in the description box, so you can go ahead, check that out, and decide which movie you are going to watch this summer. The second plan for the summer is, of course, to head to the beach. I mean, summer means beach, right? New York is no exception. Even though we usually associate New York with huge buildings and downtown and a city in general, we actually do have a lot of beaches around here. So if you happen to be in the city in summer, I suggest you spend at least one day at the beach and swimming in the ocean. In the past few years, I've visited lots of beaches, and I would say that of the ones that you can get by subway pretty easily, Rockaways, Fort Tilden, Jacob Riis Park, Long Beach, those are my favorites and the ones that I highly recommend. I'll leave all the links to the Google Map hidden so you can find them down below in the description box. You can also head to Coney Island. This one is the most popular destination among New Yorkers and the one that a lot of people go to because you can get there by subway and it's pretty easy. And if you're up for a longer ride, I highly suggest heading off to the Hamptons. The drive is of course a bit longer, but in my opinion, it's totally worth it. I love Cooper's Beach in Southampton. That one is my favorite. I'll also leave a link to that one down below in the description. Idea number 3 is to head off to a baseball game. Summer is the perfect time to enjoy sports in the city with friends, with family, with your special someone. You can head off to the Bronx to watch the New York Yankees, or you can go to Queens to watch the New York Mets. Personally, I love the Yankees. I root for them. I follow their games, so I think watching a Yankees game is the most New York summer experience, but to each their own. So you choose the baseball game that you want to go ahead and watch, but whatever option you go for, I think what's great about baseball games is that they're usually longer than any other sports. They're around like 3, 4, maybe 5 hours, and they're not the typical game where you have to be like very like laser focused on the players or the rules or the referee and you have to be silent, for example. No, this is very much a very like casual atmosphere. You can go ahead, grab something to eat like pizza, fries, maybe a hot dog, grab a drink, a beer, whatever you're in the mood for, and you can also like chat with friends. No one's gonna get annoyed if you're chatting the whole game or if you are maybe moving around in your seat or things like that. It's more of an experience rather than being just focused on the game, which I think is perfect for a summer activity in New York. Speaking of sports, another great thing to experience during summer is the US Open. This tennis Grand Slam takes place between the last few days of August and it ends around the first few days of September. So I think it's the perfect plan if you're coming to New York City towards the end of the summer. Although tickets are sometimes hard to get and also pretty expensive, you can also score a deal here and there. So if you're interested in tennis or in attending the US Open, I suggest you keep your eyes open towards resale both sides because people sometimes buy passes, buy tickets, and then don't end up going. So you can really end up buying tickets for a cheaper price. I will leave links to some of those sites down below if you want to go ahead and check them out. But something to also note is that the US Open has something called Fan Week. This is an event that takes place in the few days before the tournament actually starts, and this is free. So during this Fan Week, you have the opportunity to see players practicing before the actual tournament begins. There are also events where they play against each other. There's live music, other activities that you can take part of. So I think this is really fun, even if you don't get to see the actual games during the competition, that you get to experience the ground, see what it's like, and at least have fun around this event. I'll leave more info about Fan Week and the tickets down below in the description box. Next up is Luna Park. Luna Park is a theme park. It's located in Coney Island in Brooklyn, and the good thing about this is that you can get there by subway, usually around an hour subway ride, which is not that long. And what I like about this park is that it has mild rides, so if you have a kid or if you don't really like rides, you can do something more chill. But if you love roller coasters like I do, you can go ahead and go to the thrill rides. They're really fun. They're a great experience. I've been to Luna Park multiple times in the past few years because it's something that I really enjoy, and it's a very different New York experience. There's also Nathan hot dogs over there, which are really famous, very popular in New York, so you can try them. There are other food options if hot dogs are not your thing. There's also carnival games if you prefer that. And overall, it's a great activity. You can walk down the boardwalk, head off to the beach as well. So definitely put Coney Island in your summer bucket list. Another great plan for summer is going to a rooftop bar. Personally, I love rooftop bars in general, but I have to admit that summer is the perfect season to enjoy them because you usually go there in the afternoon or when the sun is setting. And since it's summer, you're not freezing on the rooftop, but rather the opposite. It's the perfect temperature, perfect idea to grab drinks, grab something to eat, maybe go for a first date or a second date or a something date. And I love that you can get to see New York from a different perspective. You get to see it from 20, 30, 40 floors above. You get to see the top of the buildings, or you get to see the skyline. It's something that you definitely have to do if you're in New York City during summer. The ones that I've been in that I like the most and that I highly recommend are 235th. This one is in Manhattan, close to Midtown. The thing about this rooftop is that it's really large, so there's plenty of space, and it's relatively cheaper, I would say, compared to other rooftops and other bars in New York City. So that's something to consider if you're more on a budget or you don't want to spend that much money. And it has the most perfect view of the Empire State Building, so it's one that I highly recommend. Another one that I like is the rooftop of the Arlo Hotel. This one is in Brooklyn. I love that this rooftop has this view of the skyline of Manhattan, so it's a bit different. You see the river, you see the city right behind you. It's perfect if you go during sunset because you see the sun setting right behind the city, all this pink orange skies, really perfect. And another one that I really like, this one is in downtown Manhattan and it's called Overstory. This one is really high up, and being in downtown Manhattan, there are also a lot of high buildings right around it, so you feel like you're on top of the city, which is kind of weird but also kind of amazing. I liked it. This one is a bit smaller. It doesn't have quite a lot of space inside or outside, so I suggest you go in early or make a reservation if that's possible, but it's one that I really recommend you go to. I leave the links to these 3 rooftops and some other ones down below in the description box as well. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is pickleball. So pickleball became really popular in the past few years here in the US and also here in New York City. And about a year ago, City Pickle, which is one of the most popular pickleball spots here in the city, opened a brand new location right in Walmart Rink, so heart of Central Park, and I feel like it's the perfect location for a date. That would be amazing. But also if you want to have fun with friends, maybe go play pickleball for an hour or so, then you go have drinks, go grab something to eat. I played there last year early in the morning and I loved it. You get to see Billionaires Row in the background, but you're also surrounded by all these green trees. It's honestly so beautiful and an activity that I highly recommend. And that's it for today's video. 7 activities to do in summer in New York City. 7 is my favorite number, so I decided to list 7 things. If you like this video and if you want to know more about things to do in New York City in summer, go ahead, leave a comment down below and I will happily do part 2 of this video. I would also love to know if you have done any of the activities that I suggested and which one you like the most, or if you have done any other thing during summer in New York City that you would recommend to people watching this video or to me so I can do them if I haven't done them already. I hope you really like this video. If that is the case, of course, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!